So did you always want to pick up this kit like I did, but never had a chance and you never got to see it? Well, stick around. We're going to open this box and see what the kit's all about. Before we head over to the bench, let me tell you a little bit about the kit. This is the TOS Cylon Raider from Moebius Models. It's in 1/32 scale, and that's supposed to be studio scale for this model kit. This was purchased, let's see, what was it, August 4th, 2014. Unfortunately, I didn't get to purchase it, but a good friend sent it over, my friend Nick, so thank you very much, Nick. We're going to unbox it and take a look at this. And at the time, it was only $59.99, which is a pretty good price. I don't know what it's going for today, and I don't want to look. So let's open this guy up and see the parts. And we'll start with the box art as usual. They have a very nice rendition of the Cylon Raider on the front of the package. They did a really nice job. On the side of the package is the same box art as we've seen on top. And on the back of the box, they have a write-up about the Cylon Raider here. And then they got the finished product on the bottom here and here, and then a couple more kits from Moebius Models. One of the cool things that comes in this box is this print of the Battlestar Galactica and Cylon Raiders. I don't know if this was a limited edition print that only came in some of the boxes, but this one ended up being in my box. The kit comes with only 2 decals, which are here. These were sealed, but on the one on the left, you can possibly see the damage on it. It looks like water or a chemical might have hit it. So what I'm going to do is, instead of using these, I'll probably scan them in on my computer, and then I'll print them out on my Cricut and just paint these on the ship. Let's take a look at the instructions real quick. The front page has important read this first, of course, how to apply decals and tips on painting the kit. It's a fold-out book, which is really nice. It goes step by step. The schematics are drawn very neatly, and you can easily see what is going on towards the build. There's really not a lot of steps in this build. There's not a lot of parts, so not saying it'll be quick, but it'll be a fairly quick build. On this page, they're giving you the templates for the markings on the wings. Again, I'll probably use my Cricut, scan these in, and just paint these on using that template. It'll be a lot easier. Also here on the second page, they show you a completed version of the kit, and they call out all the colors that they used on the kit, and they show you some weathering here and there on their version of the build. And on the back of the book, it's the same thing, a few more color call outs on what they used, and then they show you all the weathering they did on it. Let's take a quick look at the base. The base is large because the kit is large. The plastic is really nice and clear. I don't know if you really could see the world map underneath it, but it's there. You could probably paint it and bring that out more, but I wouldn't. This base is probably going to go into a box and be saved. And this is the other part. This is to hold up the Cylon Raider, and this will go right into the snap part right back here, and then you will throw the Cylon Raider on top. It is a huge stand, but it has to be big just because of the size of the kit. The next package didn't come on any sprues or anything. They just came right in the bag like this. So we're going to open up the bag and check out what parts came in here. A couple more clear pieces came in that bag that had no sprues on it. This is for the engine pieces. You could paint these blue and make it look like the engines are lit up, but if you're going to use these for lighting, I would frost over them. This way it has a little bit of diffusion to hide those LEDs back there. The first part we'll look at out of the bag is the canopy. The canopy is molded solid, so you don't have that ribbing where you can see through where the Cylon pilots would be. You could hog all this out, but that'll take a lot of time and effort, and that would be hard to get it perfect. If you wanted to, there is a photo etch set that you could get to replace this, and lucky enough, Nick sent that over to me, and we will do a separate review on that so you can see the differences. The next part we're taking a look at is this is where the canopy goes on top. It's a pretty plain piece except for a couple greeblies up here. On the inside, I don't think you can see it, but each of the pieces in the bag are numbered on the inside so you can find them, and that's pretty much it on that part. The next 2 pieces are identical. These are for the rear of the ship by the engine. As you can see, these are already opened up, so you don't have to worry about hogging those out and trying to get that perfect. Both are very clean, no flash or anything like that. Any injector pin marks are on the inside. The next part of the ship, again, is for the top of the ship. It's more towards the middle rear of the ship. There's plenty of detail and greeblies on this piece that you'll be able to paint up and use washes for shadows and stuff like that to bring all of that out. I'm trying to see if any of this is car parts to me or anything like that, because I'm curious as to what models they used to build this model when they used it during filming of the show. Again, we have 2 identical parts, and these for the left and right side of the top again of the ship. Both are identical with very nice panel lines. They have nice little greeblies on there. It looks like the top part there might be a tank wheel. As you can see, all the engraved panel lines. That's going to be really nice to bring out with a wash, and that'll all pop out. This part does have a defect in it. When they ripped it off the sprue or whatever they were doing, it's very ripped up on the edge. We have a little sprue piece there, but that's no big deal. I'm going to have to sand this down and hopefully not lose any arch to it. I don't want to make one part different than the other, but it's not a hard fix, so I'm not too worried about that. The other side is perfectly fine. We don't have any trouble at all with the lip. It's smooth. And we have the same detail on both sides with the panel lines and all the greeblies we can see here. And this is the last piece in the bag. This is the only piece that isn't for the top. This is for the bottom. This is where we're going to put the stand in the little slot down over here. You can see there's a lot of detail on here. There's nice greeblies again, painted up. We're going to use our washes. We're going to bring out all that detail, shadows, and then some highlights on it just to bring out the tips of everything on there. Very nice. Nice and clean. You can't complain about anything on this kit. The plastic's really good. No injector pin marks showing through at all. We just got to take off that one little sprue piece. In the next bag we have two runners, and unfortunately some of the pieces did fall off the runners. I have no control over that. None of us do. It just happens. So let me zoom in a little bit here. This way I could show you the detail on the pieces. A lot of these are just greebly and panel pieces that, again, you'll paint them up, use your washes, use your dry brushing to bring out all the highlights and shadows, and it'll make it really, really pop. I'm still looking for pieces that I would recognize from other model kits, but I haven't seen anything yet. These are more towards the engine on the rear of the ship, and then they got a lot of flat pieces in here, and it also has the blaster up here. These are a couple parts that fell off. This is just another greebly part. It's nothing really crazy. And here's the blaster that fell off. This is going to be a little difficult to work with if I want to open that up down the middle and get a fiber optic up there so we can make the laser shine through. What I'm thinking of doing is 3D printing up that part with a hollow middle. This way we have no problems getting a fiber optic up in there. And the final piece in that bag of sprues was the lower wing halves for the outer wings, and you can see the detail in it. They have the recessed bays. Again, washes, washes, washes. But we're going to get this a little closer. This way I can show you where we finally found other model pieces. As you can see, we have barrels to a tank over here, and those remind me of a Tiger tank barrel, which I'm pretty sure those are both halves of the Tiger tank barrel. And we also have some Tiger tank tracks here, or just tank tracks. I'm not sure if they're from Tiger tanks, but at least we've finally seen some other parts to models that we can pick out. If you could pick out any other model parts, please let me know in the comments below. And here we have the upper half of the wings where we have really, really nice recessed panel lines. A few greeblies on the top of the wings, but most of it's here in the center of the wings. It's going to look really, really nice when it's put together. Let me pull this in so you can see these a little bit better than being far away. Here again, you can see the detail. It's not a lot of detail, but it's enough detail to show us that there's some kind of workings in between the wings. They're all nice and clean and crisp. No complaints about how the detail is on the kit itself, or if anything's soft or anything like that. It's not. They really did a really nice job on this kit. And we're down to our last two bags of the kit. This is the upper half of the kit, so we're going to put our cockpit towards the front. We'll have the brace, all those pieces that I showed you in the bag. We have a big knob here in the middle, but that's no big deal because everything's going to cover that up. We have some greeblies on the top here, recessed panel lines. So we have a nice detail on the top. Anything that's not looking good is going to be covered up. So let's pull in again. This way we could show you detail. We found a couple more tank tracks over here, and I'm really not sure. There might be a couple tank wheels in here towards the back. It's kind of hard to tell because they're not as crisp as these tank tracks. You can see the recesses back here. So they did a really nice job on this. Again, I keep saying it, but you can see how clean this plastic is. The plastic is really nice. It feels good. It should paint up really well. And you can see these nice detailed panel lines that we have here on the upper half of the saucer. And the final piece of the kit is the bottom half of the ship, which is actually more detailed, it looks to me, than the top half. Recessed panel lines, of course. We got our greeblies all over the place on this piece. We do have that big knob in the center there, but I'll show you that in a second. We found another tank barrel up towards the front. So we have a few more pieces, mostly tank pieces it looks like. And here's that knob. We're going to go across, but here's some more panel lines and greeblies all over the place, and that'll just enhance your kit and make it look, you know, like the real thing that we saw on TV. And right down there are your panel lines. So I'm just trying to show you the best I can of how nicely they did this kit. We'll pull out a little bit so you can see the size of the kit. And there, I think that's where I'm going to put my post for my electronics, depending on what piece goes over the top. And that should be a really good spot for a center point of keeping everything in place and not worrying about having it tilt towards the front or the back. So that's it on the Cylon Raider, a pretty good kit, no doubt about it, and a very nice size. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the unboxing. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel out greatly, and it helps us bring you more content. This will be a build series in the future, and I'm going to talk to Spence about getting a lighting board made up for this one, so we have a Cylon Raider board. So that's it, everybody. I hope you're all doing well out there. Take care, and bye-bye.